Melbourne's a really great city to explore, but to really get to know it, you need to get off the main thoroughfare.
To me, the character of Melbourne is about a number of things. It's about smallness, and I think a lot of cities have lost that small intimacy. It's about secrets, that you have to discover Melbourne.
It's, as they often say, a little European dense pocket of atmosphere.
Every city has history, every city has some interesting architecture, but Melbourne's a really unusual city in that it's incredibly multicultural.
It's a cultural city. It grew up in a period in the mid-19th century with Victorian architecture, so it's got this sort of civic quality about it.
What I really love about Melbourne is you can come into the city with a plan to buy an ice cream scoop or something, and then you'll end up catching up with a friend, buying a pair of earrings, disappearing into a gallery, wandering around the laneway.
So you've got to go out and discover it, and it's made up of all these small discoveries.
And that business of sort of strolling down the Yarra, riding down the Yarra, cycling down the Yarra has now become very much a part of the Melbourne experience.
If you come to a city like Melbourne, there's a lot of big buildings, Victorian architecture, there's lots of shops, but there's lots that you miss.
And before you know it, it's midnight and you've got to go home.
The great thing about Fed Square is that Melbourne has now embraced it.
This is one of the first lending libraries in the world to make books freely available to common people, to everybody in the community.
You can get street art that brings a whole lot of ideas straight to the people from the walls of Melbourne.
It's run with a kind of mission to achieve a lively mix of activity and a kind of urban living room or even an urban family room.
So a lot of what happened in Melbourne was playing with the small things, keeping the lanes and arcades, looking at pavement treatments, furniture, planting more trees, really just improving that overall amenity of the street, getting buildings to build back up to the street frontage so you didn't get gaps in it. It sounds like tiny stuff, but if you do that often enough, over a long period of time, the city starts to feel good, and that's what's really happened in Melbourne.
A cafe or a bar where you can have a drink after work.
What we've tried to do with this is really to try and help you along the way, give you some insights that we've seen. We're never going to show you everything, but hopefully this will give you a bit of a better insight into Melbourne.